Good evening, colleagues of the Ghana Institute of Planners. I present to you the state of the GIP on this day, Tuesday, 14th April 2020. It is a pleasure indeed to come your way this evening to perform one of the most important duties on the calendar of the Institute, which is to address members on the state of the Ghana Institute of Planners. This is the first in the series of quarterly updates to be delivered, and in accordance with protocol and convention, I am glad to inform you that all members of the National Executive Committee of the Institute are with me in virtual terms as I deliver this address. I know that you have long expected to hear me, and so I have been working hard with the team to ensure that we achieve the key milestones for the quarter before coming out. The COVID-19 pandemic. I am delighted to inform members that GIP, in partnership with the Land Use and Spatial Planning Authority, has been drafted into frontline efforts aimed at containing the spread of the virus, as well as providing adequate care for the sick and mitigating impact of the virus on social and economic lives of Ghanaians. GIP and LASPA jointly submitted a special strategy paper for consideration in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic, and we trust that the advice in this paper is being applied. GIP is currently part of a network of built environment professionals comprising architects, engineers, and surveyors who are providing free consultancy services in epidemiological mapping and scenario development as far as design and construction of health facilities at key nerve centers in the country. We are proud to inform you that the Institute is currently part of the team working on a 100-bed capacity COVID-19 treatment facility in Kwabenya, Accra, and the sword cutting for this facility would take place on Wednesday, April 15, 2020. I take this opportunity to reiterate that we all observe the prevailing public health advice on the various social distancing measures, such as washing our hands regularly, using hand sanitizers, staying home as much as possible, avoiding mass gatherings, and wearing face masks if we need to interface others. Strategic plan for GIP. It may sound counterintuitive to say that the Institute has not had a strategic plan in decades, but that is exactly the case. The National Executive Committee has therefore commenced work on a 5-year strategic plan for the Institute spanning 2020 to 2024. This will provide us the opportunity to harmonize the myriad of ideas that have been agreed upon at our annual general conferences over the years. This plan is also expected to provide leadership of the Institute opportunity to consistently follow through a set of interventions and strategies that will enhance the professional capacity of members whilst promoting their welfare. Establishment of zonal chapters. In accordance with Section 3.7 of the GIP Constitution, regional associations of the Institute have always been created by successive leaders. These associations have, however, been very inactive, leading to a situation where all activities of the Institute are concentrated at the headquarters in Accra. The NEC has interacted with a number of members and observed that poor physical accessibility to the regional capitals, coupled with lack of annual plans and budgets for these chapters, are some of the key reasons for this state of affairs. In recognition of the role of these chapters in the administrative efficiency of the Institute, some reforms have been carried out, including reorganizing the 16 regional chapters into 9 zonal chapters as follows. Zone 1, Accra, including parts of the central region. Zone 2, Secondary Accra, that's the western region and parts of the western north. Zone 3 is the Ashanti region, including parts of the western north. Zone 4 is the Bono region and the Ahafo regions, with the capital in Sunyani. Zone 5 is Techiman, that's Bono East, and this will comprise parts of the Ashanti region. Zone 6, Tamale, that's the northern region, the whole of the northeast region, the upper east region, and parts of the Savannah region. Zone 7 is the eastern region. Zone 8, Ho, that's Volta region, including the Oti region. Zone 9 would be Wa, that's the upper west region, including parts of the Savannah region. With this arrangement, members in a particular region could decide which zone to belong to based on ease of geographical accessibility and other factors convenient to them. The main criteria for inaugurating zonal chapters is that they must have interim executives comprising a chairperson, a secretary, and an organizer, compilation of a register of active members, as well as availability of a preliminary work program and a budget. Planners who have not yet been certified by the Institute are allowed to join the zonal chapters as observers. So far, some preparatory works have been completed in zones 3 and 6, and they would be inaugurated immediately after the lockdown. Enhancement of the membership register. The GIP Constitution provides for various categories of membership as follows: fellows, honorary fellows, corporate members, junior members, and student members. Over the years, only the corporate members, fellows, and honorary fellows have been actively engaged, to the literal neglect of the junior and student members. As at the end of the first quarter of 2020, there were 701 members on the register, and only about 450, representing 64%, were active members. NEC has decided to plan its activities on the basis of the active membership, as steps are taken to reach out to the dormant members and whip up their interest. The future of the planning profession and the Ghana Institute of Planners lies in the nurturing of junior and student planners. The activation of the student chapters provides the GIP with a unique opportunity to contribute to the training and grooming of future planners. As at March 2020, preparations were completed for inauguration of the student chapters at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology and the University for Development Studies. These chapters would have been accomplished and inaugurated but for the COVID-19 pandemic. There are currently 475 technical officers working with the physical planning departments of the MMDAs in Ghana. Data from LASPA indicate that 50.7% of the 260 MMDAs do not have physical planning officers, and the technical officers tend to be in charge of managing spatial planning affairs in such areas. In spite of the tremendous influence the technical officers have on the planning and management of human settlements, they do not have any professional affiliation as pertains with the other professional groups such as the architects and the surveyors. During the period under consideration, meetings were held with leadership of the Technical Staff Association, and agreements have been reached on some criteria for their enrollment into the GIP. It is recognized that interventions such as this will require constitutional amendments. Replacement of membership stamps. For purposes of enhanced professional identity, it was agreed at the last annual General Conference in 2019 that names of members should be prefixed with PLN, as in planner. As part of measures to implement this resolution, NEC will progressively replace all membership stamps to reflect these changes. This exercise will also be used to update the membership register. Continuing professional development training for members. Continuing professional development training is intrinsic to every professional association. In the first quarter of this year, a number of training models were developed and reviewed in readiness for rollout. In addition to the general call that would be extended to members to participate, NEC will engage closely with partners institutions, including the Office of the Head of Local Government Service, to request all district development planners to participate. In a related development, the Institute has concluded discussions with the Commonwealth Association of Planners, CAP, to pilot an urban management toolkit in Kumasi. The package comes with a capacity building component, and the Gambian Institute of Planners would be joining us for the training. The criteria for selection of participants for the training would be determined after the COVID-19 crisis. Review of the GIP Constitution. The first Constitution of the Ghana Institute of Planners was adopted on the 28th of March 1969 and has been reviewed over the years to respond to dynamics of the Institute. The last amendment was done 24 years ago, and there still remains a number of shortfalls, especially in relation to the executive committee structure, membership categories, elections, partnerships, professional identification, among others. For about a decade now, members have called for numerous amendments to the Constitution, and the sheer number of such amendments now warrant total overhaul rather than a straight amendment. A notice will be put out shortly to invite members to serve on the Constitutional Review Committee of the Institute. Establishment of the GIP Council. Section 3.1 of the GIP Constitution provides for the establishment of a council to serve as the highest professional authority on all matters relating to the planning profession, as well as provide strategic and policy guidance and ensure the highest level of coordination for planning education in Ghana. Nomination letters have been prepared to invite councillors, and this would be completed when the zonal executives are in place. Other representatives of the council are the Land Use and Spatial Planning Authority, the National Development Planning Commission, the private sector practitioners, Association of Student Planners, heads of planning departments of the planning schools, and the National Executive Committee of the GIP. Institutions such as the Office of the Head of Local Government Service would be co-opted to serve on the council. Office space. As announced at the last annual General Conference, the Lands Commission, through the instrumentality of a former president of the Institute, Planner K.D. Osei, have allocated an acre land for the office project of the Institute at the Adenta Aviation Enclave in Accra. The National Executive Committee has inspected the site and currently seeking to solicit views of members on the fastest way to secure and develop the land. Bear in mind that a lot has to do with scarcity of resources than anything else. In the meantime, NEC is working to secure a bigger office space. GIP is unable to pay commercial rent under the circumstances, and so members are invited to assist in this regard. Revenue mobilization. Based on trends between 2017 and 2019, the main sources of revenue for the Institute are dues, training fees, sponsorship, consultancies, and sale of accessories. Membership dues constitute the largest and most sustainable source of revenue, constituting about 70% of total inflows. In spite of this, only 20% of general membership and 31% of active members have paid their dues to date. The Institute is currently at a very low operating cash flow and may be seriously handicapped in its ability to meet routine operating expenditure obligations in the coming quarter if the rate of dues payment is not enhanced. We take this opportunity to request members to bear with us as we take steps to improve inflows from the other sources which are currently not very reliable. Please make all payments to the Institute's mobile money number 0244 448608 and notify the finance administrator about it by calling the same number or sending a WhatsApp message to 020 9614 838. Website development. Members may have observed that the Institute's website, that's www.ghanainstituteofplanners.com, is not lively as expected. This is due to its limited capacity for interactivity and inadequate links for relevant information and resources. At its last meeting in February, NEC decided to overhaul the website by changing the domain name to www.gip.org.gh and include portals for membership event registration, membership data update, student members news, and publications, among others. We take this opportunity to thank planner Dr. S.S. Irenchi of SSYY Consult and former president of the Institute, planner Isaac Jamfi, managing director Solidaridad West Africa, and planner Frank Taki, director of the consortium and the former president of the Institute, for their intention to support this project. The Planning and Development Review Journal. For some time now, the Institute has tried without success to come out with the first issue of its flagship journal known as the Planning and Development Review. In spite of the hard work put in by the last editorial board, not much was achieved. Considering the importance of this journal to the continued professional relevance of the Institute, NEC has decided to situate the nerve of the editorial board in the Department of Planning in KNUST. Members who are interested in serving on this board should send email to gipcontact1969@gmail.com. Thank you for your attention, and I stand by for your comments and suggestions. We shall prefer you sending your comments also in well-composed MS Word format to the email address indicated above. That is gipcontact1969@gmail.com. Long live GIP, long live Ghana, and God have mercy on all of us in these trying times. Thank you for your attention.